Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Stock, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Today, we're talking crypto, and man, we got some movement going on, finally. Some movement going on in the direction that we went for most of the cryptos that I follow on this channel. We have one of which that kind of got smacked down for a little bit, and that's something that we'll have to talk about and see if it really is a problem, like one that is going to persist over time, or is it just a hiccup that we have, a speed bump in the road, a little bit of growing pains. And I really do want to revisit Ethereum, because I do want to give a little bit of a reminder out there for people who follow Ethereum, but then I also want to touch on some of the altcoins just briefly, other ones that are out there as well, including the one that kind of fell on its face pretty hard yesterday. All right, so with that being said, let's get ready to rock. Welcome back. For those of you who enjoy this video, please go ahead and cover up your eyeballs like this and smash around the screen until you hit the like button. If you happen to hit the subscribe button along the way, excellent. And the notification bell, if that gets tapped, that means that you're going to see videos of mine anytime that they come out. So absolutely wonderful news, right? Plus you get to see this stupendous hair of mine. It's absolutely incredible. I spend about 2 a.m. till 5 a.m. I spend just crafting this wonderful coif of hair. Moving on from there, if you guys want to check out down in the description, there are links to Moomoo and Webull. Both those you can sign up, deposit your money, and you get free stocks kicked back at you. Webull is quite a deal right now. Moomoo, I'm hoping that they tick back just a little bit on that deposit, because it was $100. They bumped it up to $2,000, which I think can be a little bit steep for some people getting started with the platform, especially one that they haven't even tried out yet. So we'll lean on them. We'll see if they back that down a little bit. In the meantime, you can sign up and just hold off for them to see if they do bring that back just a little bit. Anyway, I need to move on from there. My link for my Patreon's down there if you want to come over and join my community of investors. They're absolutely wonderful, passionate people that are infinitely curious about stock market, finance, crypto, you name it. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, that link for the Patreon is down in the description. With that being said, let's move right on to the cryptos. There we go. So we're checking out coinmarketcap.com, and right now you can see Bitcoin finally overtaking 47,000, and it might be flirting with 48,000 a little bit, so hopefully we see that sometime soon. Ethereum back up over 3,400 and flirting a little bit with 3,500. So we'll see if we end up picking up back on that momentum. So I really do think the bull run is still continuing for crypto in general, and I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are leading that charge, although we have some altcoins I should say, like Cardano here, $2.40 per ADA token. Let's move down to my friend Solana. Solana was down at one point to like $145 per SOL token, and that's incredible. What the heck happened? This thing was just near $200 recently and had a lot of momentum going for it. Recently it's been down to in the 150s, in the 160s, and then all of a sudden it dropped to 145. Well, we're going to take a look at that as well, so we'll come back to that in just a little bit. Chainlink's having a heck of a day, up 15%. In my altcoin video, I said maybe a few days, maybe give it a week or so, and I think that we're right around that time right now, and finally we're seeing it back up over $30 per Link token, #1 oracle in the crypto space, so I highly recommend, if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check it out. I can recommend that you check things out, because you can always do your own research and due diligence. I cannot recommend that you buy or sell anything. So moving on from there, where's one of my favorites here? Polygon actually slipped down to spot number 22 by market cap. E and Y. So Ernst & Young has recently partnered with Polygon, and I think this is going to be something that drives serious demand for the Matic token. And then we also have Coinbase working with Polygon as well. So that's two big companies that we have right now, one at the enterprise level, just an absolutely huge deal, and I think that's going to drive demand for the Matic token over time. So we're going to watch how that plays out. Up 7% for the week, up 5% for the day, and I don't know that it's done climbing. All right, with that said, let's go back to my friend Ethereum. All right, so here's a look at the daily chart for Ethereum, and you can see the candlesticks that we have. And let me zoom out, because I had this in a more recent video. Look at this smooth trend that we have. Subtract out the top, subtract out these bottoms here too, and I'll put a diagonal line just to make sure that you're seeing the trend line that I'm discussing here. So from about here to about there, even though we don't perfectly follow that path, this is sort of how the data is going so far. And to me, it looks like we've been on a bull run this whole time, even though it's just been encapsulated, like encapsulated within this overall bull run that we have for Ethereum and for the crypto space in general. We have this volatility before, this volatility after, but we keep marching on, and I really think that that's where we're at right now. So even if we take a dip to the downside, or even if we spike back up to the upside, it's quite possible that we take on this slow, steady march and that we ignore that short-term volatility, because that's how long-term investing goes, is that you don't pay attention to a lot of the ups and downs that you have in between. The eyes are on the prize at the end. So that's something to keep in mind for Ethereum. And if we go down to the news on Ethereum, they bring up the EY tapping Polygon. So because Polygon is a layer 2 solution for Ethereum, then this gives people who are Ernst & Young clients access to the Ethereum network while having those transaction speeds and cheap transaction costs that Polygon brings to them. So that's why it makes it under the Ethereum news right here. And this story is it's yesterday's news, really. So when you look at that, this is actually something I want to pay more attention to. Right here, Solana and Arbitrum knocked offline while Ethereum evades attack. So let's go into this article here, and we'll scroll down a little bit. There we go. Surging Ethereum rival Solana has shed 15% of its value over the past 24 hours after suffering a denial of service disruption. So basically, and not that I'm totally technically aware of what denial of service attacks are, I am somewhat aware of them. So some sort of malicious attack where you just try to flood whatever computer it is, or in this case, network of computers, to the point where it can't keep up with how much it's being hit with, and that kind of ends up denying service because it's just so darn busy. Now, this is an incredible thing. So Solana got attacked, and it worked. They actually had to restart the network because it started forking, but it didn't start forking. Look at this. Peak transaction load of 400,000 transactions per second. Take a moment to think about how incredible that is. Right now, the financial standard for transactions per second, people look at Visa, and I know I've shown this before, and other people have shown this before, 1,700 transactions per second. So we are over 200 times what Visa handles, although they say right here that they can handle about 24,000, but still we're between like 15 and 20x over what Visa boasts they can do. So I mean, with Solana, here's how I picture Solana. Solana is that that big fish that came from a small pond, we'll say it that way. So like a high school football player that was like #1 in the state and like an absolutely expected to be an incredible freshman draft pick into college, and then gets into college sports and then bam, gets smacked down and kind of put in its place for a moment. And so while it has that strength and that explosive agility and speed and everything like that, it still has a little bit of growing pains to go through and a little bit of training, a little bit of polish to put on it. And for Solana, it looks like somebody found another way to attack it. And so because they found a way to attack it, then that means that they have to go back and revisit how to fix it, so that way it keeps it from happening again. And you want this stuff to happen while it's small. And compared to Ethereum, Solana is small. Solana is young. So I maintain my bullish stance on Solana. I still think that we're going to see prices above 200 in the near future. And I started putting some numbers together. They're not ready for release yet, but I started putting some numbers together based on the vesting schedule that they have, and then also the inflation rate that they have, and the max circulating supply. And I think after I'm done with all that, I'll give you my idea of whether or not I think that this is one that goes to 300. Does Solana go to $500? Does Solana go to $1,000? People are asking, will Solana go to $10,000? And you know, that's still something that would be up for debate. I think that that would be, you know, mathematically incredible to take a look at the case that makes that those dollars per SOL token, those sort of price targets at some point in time. For right now, let me handle $300 first, and we'll see what the numbers say and see if it comes out to even more than that. So I better move on from there. So Solana and Arbitrum got attacked, and Ethereum also got attacked. It was just unsuccessful, and that was pretty much, there we go. Here's Lark Davis. If you haven't checked out his channel, you should. He's pretty awesome with the crypto stuff. So Lark, I'm sure that you're not watching my videos right now, but should you ever catch wind that I gave you props for your videos, I think that you are a champion, and I really like what you do to educate people who are interested in crypto, so thank you very much. So moving back to this for Ethereum, I think Ethereum, it's only a matter of time before we regain 4,000, and I'd much rather see a slow and steady climb than these sort of cliff walls that you have where we scale it, but then we can also stand to fall back down. And you know, let's hang along that line. Let's reduce the volatility, and that way it's not so gut wrenching for the people who follow Ethereum. So since I mentioned Solana, there we go. We'll come to a Solana's chart, and you can see on this one-day chart where they really took it on the chin for it. Here it says that the price went down to $144. So I said 145. It's right around there. So let's go to the candlesticks and see what it shows for Solana. There we go. So Solana, you can see the parabolic rise that it had recently, and then we have this candle right here at the very peak. My goodness, if it wants to zoom in, there we go. This candle at the very peak that we have where we went up over $200 per SOL token, this is usually a sign of a reversal, and that's what happened is that we reversed. We dropped back down. Notice that we hit right across these peaks the last time that Solana took a breath, and that's where we came down to when Solana was attacked with a denial of service attack that took them up to, remember, 400,000 transactions per second. I don't know that there's another blockchain that can do that. Solana, I believe, is in the lead by far, and they were talking like 100,000 transactions per second, and we found that they went unstable by 400,000 transactions per second. So if nothing else, that's one heck of a stress test to put on Solana. So just speaking about its future promise, get those security issues fixed up. Let's watch it go ahead and be able to not fall victim to an attack like this again. And you know, that's something that to build trust over time, it's just going to take that time to show that we do have that stability and that it has become very resistant to such attacks. All right, so just a quick look at Chainlink. So I have the chart pulled up here already. Since it decided to run up so much that we're back up over that $30 mark, it still has plenty of room to run. So I talked before about this little cup and handle pattern that we had forming up here, and it actually started to play out, and then we had the September 7th, I think it was. Yeah, the September 7th sell-off in the crypto markets. And Chainlink was not immune to it, but look, if you take out that little bit of up and down, it looks like we've taken on this little path that we see before, that similar trajectory. And if we zoom out even more from there, we can see that that fits more of this overall, much like I showed with Ethereum. I'll put in my trend line here. Sort of that idea that we have, that if you take out the spikes, the peaks and the valleys that we have here, that we kind of returned right back to where we were at. So we could honestly see another spike for Chainlink coming up in the near future. We really started breaking out on another like rampant bull run before kind of getting slowed down a little bit and the brakes put on by that sell-off. And now I think tensions are easing up a little bit. I think that we're going to return to that rise. So let me summarize. I believe that we're still within the crypto bull run. I'm not really sure that it totally ended in an overall sort of view over the past few years. We did have that springtime run up, and then we also had that springtime fall into the summer, and then we had, you know, that pretty big dip as far as Bitcoin and Ethereum go, and then we started returning back to where we were at before. So the bull run finally continues, and I think that we are on a very nice path for that. We'll have some spikes, you know, whether it's spiking upward, spiking downward, but overall I think that we're in a really good position, and I think that Ethereum still can put in those new highs. And you know, you might think that $5,000 per Ether token is a little bit low if you're a crypto bull and an Ether bull, but for me, I'm still sticking with my guns at $5,000 per Ether token by the end of 2021, and I hope that I'm pleasantly wrong, that it ends up going way up above that, and that Bitcoin goes way up above, well, whatever it's trading at the time, 50,000, 60,000. Is it going to go to 70,000? We're going to have to watch for those new highs to be put in just to see how quickly we return to that stock to flow model for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, 5,000 I think is a very solid number, and I think it's one that we're very likely to see. And I would rather be wrong because I'm being too conservative than be wrong because I'm being way too bullish on something and miss my mark. If I were to say like $10,000 and miss it, well, I set the expectation for me for that 10,000, and emotionally that is a difficult thing to really stomach when I was counting on so much more money to come in and then it didn't. So I'd rather be conservative about it and watch it go higher from there, because that's much easier to stomach for me. So that's why I give conservative estimates the way that I do. Solana I think is going to retake that $200 mark, and on its next run, now that we had a little bit of a breather, we'll see how we navigate through this most recent attack. what it does to Solana's price, but I think it's going to come back to strength. We're going to catch that 200, and I think that we could see 250 within the near future, and I still think that possibility is out there for that 300. Still not ready to put my name to it, but I'm getting closer all the time. I put my name to 250. Not yet ready to put my name to 300 by the end of 2021, but let me crank out the numbers. I'll bring them back to you guys and let you know what I see. So thank you for joining me in this video. It's been incredible, and if you've been watching my videos, thank you for all the support that you showed. If you have covered up your eyes and managed to hit the like button, good. If not, I guess you can take the blinders off and press the like button, subscribe button, notification bell to see anytime my videos come out. Join me over at the Patreon. Absolutely love to have you over there. Grow that community. If, like I said, if you're passionate about finance, investing, crypto, and you're always infinitely curious and you want to have people to talk to about it and bounce your ideas off of, go ahead and join us over there. Moo, Weeble, sign up, deposit your money, get your free stocks. I get free stocks, so thank you for supporting the channel in that way as well. Even if it's just watching these videos all the way through, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm Dr. Stock. Thanks for rocking with me. Now go get that money.